You're listening to Being Fully Human with Alex Laws. Each week, we delve into topics that will allow you to improve yourself and everything around you so you can really start living. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode.
Alarm clock screaming, bare feet hit the floor. Yeah, it's off to the races, everybody out the door. I'm feeling like I'm falling behind, it's a crazy life. 90 miles an hour, going fast as I can, trying to push a little harder, trying to get the upper hand. So much to do in so little time, it's a crazy life. It's ready, set, go, it's another wild day. When the stress is on the rise, in my heart I feel you say, just breathe, come and rest at my feet. And just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need is to just breathe.
Welcome, everyone. It's Alex, and you are on Being Fully Human, the one podcast you can always find me, Alex. Hey, you can also find me at alexlaws.com. Welcome to Being Fully Human. If that music doesn't get you up and going, I hope you take the time to listen to the words that are in there, because it talks about every day, every kind of day so many of us have, and sometimes the simplest thing to do is just breathe. That's why we start out every show with taking 3 big, deep breaths. Hey, find yourself comfortable in a chair, maybe standing in the center of a room. Maybe you're sitting in your office or even a cubicle somewhere where you're working, and you just need to sit back, push your butt back to the back of your chair, align your spine, sit up nice and straight, let your arms hang down. Going to take a deep breath in through your nose, going to exhale through your mouth and relax your neck and shoulders. Bring it up. And exhale. With each exhale, relax your neck, your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale. Take more time on the exhale. Slow down the inhale. Bring it up. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Feeling more grounded each time. What a show today. We're talking about finding your own community. Sometimes it's even closer than you think. Yeah, what is our community? What are you looking for? What maybe don't you have? Or how do you create your own? Finding your own community is so big. Oh, I've just got a couple of emails coming in right now about it. And it's so big when you want to have a community and you don't know where to start. And sometimes it's right in front of you. First off, I always tell people, go back home. Get in your own house and take a look around you. Do you have neighbors? Do you live in a community there? I lived in a community down in Palm Springs, a gated community. It was really nice. Golf course in the middle. Lots of activities that you could get involved in or not. Some people don't like that. I really enjoy finding that community. Finding that place where you have people of like mind or you have interesting discussion. Maybe it's a book club. But really, sometimes the easiest thing to do is just merely go home and look to the neighbors that you have around you. Maybe the simplest thing to do, if you don't know them, is go over and introduce yourself for sure. And maybe the old-fashioned, bring them a loaf of bread or bring them some fresh-made cookies. Just something nice and get to know them a little bit. I look at these people right now that have just gone through this last year in California, what's happened, and people that are neighbors getting to know each other, helping each other out. I listened to one interview where a lady has said that they had a guest casita, and now the neighbor across the street who'd lost their house is living in it. I mean, what a great way to start looking at who is around you, who is in your community. As many of you know, I teach rhythmic meditation, and that becomes a community in its own because I hear from people when I'm not on a regular basis teaching it, especially during the summer months. I'm off a lot during those times. And the community that is built in that cycling group, people love getting to get together They're doing something that everyone in the class is so in tune with. It all takes place on a stationary bike with really great music. The music has messages. And when you have this opportunity to be around other people, other like-minded people, you have a chance that you can start to find this commonality, things that you relate to or that they relate to with you. You know, when you look and see how you build a relationship with somebody, there's always arms that go out from it, right? So if a circle on a piece of paper is the community and you're a part of that community, there's all these outreach things that happen. I spoke with someone not long ago that was in one of those rhythmic meditation classes, and we were talking about where their child had moved on out of college to and was looking to get work. And somebody who used to be in the rhythmic meditation class was now living in that city. And I said, well, you know, so-and-so. And yeah, well, they live in that city now. They're very well connected. And so we began putting the two of them together. And all of that came out of just being in part of the community. The other thing is we know how healthy it is for mind and body and soul to not pull out of the community, but to step into community. When we see people who become the stages of depression at times, you'll see them pulling back away from people, finding themselves on their own, closing themselves in more and more. And, you know, as we go through fall and into winter, that's a time of year a lot of people start nesting again, right? They begin pulling in and pulling away from others. Maybe if that's what you like to do, then go invite your neighbors over, and maybe on Saturday nights you do a movie in your house, or you do a potluck once a month and start bringing people together. You start reaching out because that will become your community. Of course, I really like gyms. Whenever I'm talking to people about community, especially people that have been out of work, I say, look at where's your community? What is your community? Well, I don't really have a community. Well, what clubs do you belong to? I don't belong to a club. Where do you exercise? Well, I don't, you know, I do exercise at home or I go running on the roads. And that's, again, when I encourage people to say, okay, maybe this is a good time to start a gym just for 90 days and go there 5 days a week or 6 days a week. You don't have to work out super hard. You might just go to a class, but get exposed to people in a gym community, and make sure you tour the gym first. You don't have to go in there and sign up on the same day. Go in and say, I'm looking at joining a gym. Do you have a guest pass that I could try? And you'll get a vibe. You'll see whether the people are really friendly or nice or not. You know, it's amazing that when you're looking for community, when you're looking for those places, you want to find the things that are common to you. You know, when you start to create it, let's just go back to what I started in the beginning. If you started at home, maybe you live in a condo, maybe you live in an apartment, and you start creating a network of friends who you make connections with right around you. You know, one of the things you can do is bring safety classes once a month to your neighborhood. What a great time to do that in the winter. We're all getting together and you invite 10 or 15 neighbors, and the goal is bring these items, and here's why, and we're putting together safety kits for a house. And then you go find who teaches CPR and say, I'm willing to host a CPR class, or somebody has a really big basement in their house, and you call up someone and say, what would it be if I had 10 or 15 people come in and get CPR certification done? We'll do it right here at the neighborhood house. Or maybe your neighborhood has a rec room that you can use, or your condo association or apartment. But you do CPR training and be the orchestrator of it. You know, it's one thing to sit there and say, I have no community and I do nothing about it. But there's the other thing about saying, I do have community, and I've actually done something with it. I've done something to create it, something to make it all happen. That's the driving force. Now you're stepping out. Now you're stepping in to doing something for your community, to be part of your community. And I like to look at community as friends, things that you could do hobbies with, things that can bring your neighborhood together, outreach to meet new people. A lot of single people. You know, they'll join a singles club or a singles group that's active. Where I'm at, there's a couple of different ski resorts, 45 minutes and 3 hours apart. You know, just a 45-minute drive from the city. you can get a lot of people. Maybe it's to rent a bus and plan ahead and create a community there, or just go join. There used to be a what they'd call Ladies' Day on Wednesdays at a ski resort that I was affiliated with. And every Wednesday, these ladies would fill an entire bus out of the big city at that time, and they'd all go up there. Some of them would take lessons. Some of them would just ski together and have lunch, and then they'd head back down in the afternoon. They wanted to be home by the time a lot of their kids came home from school, and their husband had come home from his job. But a lot of these people they penciled themselves out of work, those that worked on the Wednesday, so that they could find community. And it doesn't take a lot to start community. And the other thing I would encourage you to do is the old statement, keep religion and politics out of the community. It's, churches can be in a whole nother community. And if you're just looking at doing that, then do it through the church. Bring your faith in with your other people that you're already working on for community. Churches have wonderful ways of building up community. So take a look. If you don't have a church that you belong to, I always encourage people, try 3 different faiths. See if there's one that you connect with. See if there's anything that you connect with at the church. Meet the people that run the church. Say you're looking for a place to be able to worship. If it's, too over the top for you, then just let them know, man, this probably isn't working for me. But if it's somewhere you can just come and be a part of and take that hour out of your week and be affiliated with to start with, that's a good process to get going on starting and finding your community and building your community. You are on Being Fully Human. I'm Alex. You can find me at alexlaws.com. There's a free download on that. You can also email me at alex@alexlaws.com. And I think that what I so much love about working with people is when I get a chance to do it in person or speak in small groups or even large groups. We talk about what it takes to be fully human in today's society. Those kind of things can be just amazing. I mean, it can be just amazing. So as you look across your schedule and look across your business and think of someone you want to bring along, come over to alexlaws.com, send me an email, alex@alexlaws.com, and let's talk about what we can do to talk about your team, about being fully human and working together as human beings that we are. Today's show, we're talking about finding your community and or building your own community, which the first step to this a lot of times starts right at home, right in your neighborhood. You can do that by just looking at the people that live around you, and your actions to step into community. Maybe you already belong to a gym. You don't want to start doing things with your neighborhood. Then just go back to your gym and get to know people in a class. And then every week, take one class you've never taken. If you've never taken yoga, go try yoga. If you've never taken a cycling or spin class, go try that. If you've never had a training session, hire a trainer one time. All of these things can reach you into the community that's really right there in front of you, in areas that you want to connect with and areas that you want to broaden your own community, because you just never know when you show up who else may show up too. Thanks for listening. This is the short podcast on being fully human. Our podcasts range anywhere from 8 minutes to 30 minutes, and we like to just find those nuggets. What is your community? Is it outside of work? Are you only identified as work? Get out and build a community, find your own community, and then really step into it and have a good time. It's all part of being fully human.
Thanks for listening to Being Fully Human. We want to make sure that you don't miss out on the next episode, so make sure to subscribe and check out www.alexlaws.com for more info on this and all of our other episodes.